One boat is late to join. Lucas Ordonez for Westbrook Racing right round the back, so he's going to be at the back of the field. And a great start. I'm pretty certain that Team Drogba and Michael Wilkinson had a brilliant launch and didn't quite cross the stripe before going down towards turn one. He cuts across. Did he have a boat length behind him? I think he did, actually. We've had collision with a smart mark on the inside. We've already seen one foil broken for Team Alulu earlier, and now Mark Anthony's Team Miami, Eric Stark, has hit it at turn one. Water pouring in the cockpit.
I'm not quite sure what happened there, because he had no one round him. He looked like he was in clean water. He just seemed to misjudge it. But look at Mika out there in Team Drogba. He is stormed away. He did have a boat length and he did cross. We've got a red flag.
Yeah, red flag being called. Well, that is really unfortunate for Michael Wilkinson, because having started on the outside, what do we say? Every chance of doing something from there. Red flag is called, so proceedings have to be halted, and that's because Team Miami are stuck in the water. Look at the smart mark. That poor smart mark, stricken.
It's so sad. The smart mark is down. Man down, man down. Well, yesterday we had a smart mark go rogue on us, didn't it? It refused to listen to the GPS signal and decided to wander off. Eric looks completely frustrated there. But what a turnout for the books for Westbrook Racing, who didn't make the start. This is
I suppose it's
a real gem,
isn't it? Yeah,
huge gift for them.
Yeah, Eric Stark. I'm assuming there's damage on the left-hand wing. We saw Katie Munnings hit it earlier. It must have been his left hand.
You could just see there, but I'm not sure why he stood.
Let's have a look. There's the damage,
but he's still underway. So they said he was stuck in the water, but he still seems to be under power there. So I'm not quite sure why we stopped the race.
He's getting out. He's having a look down at his foil on the left-hand side.
It's still there, Eric. Don't worry.
I think he looks like something out of a Hollywood movie, doesn't he, Eric Stark? But that look was a comedy, wasn't it, from Eric Stark? The way he looked down at his left wing and the foil, you can see the damage to it, and water, kicking off it. That's going to be the end of Team Miami's weekend, unfortunately. All the other race birds are in the milling area, so they will get to go again here. Let's have a look at it one more time. I have to say, Michael Wilkinson, the boat length gap there down towards turn one, and I think it's the wash again. Remember we saw from Katie Munnings earlier, because Team Drogba was ahead, you look at the wake being kicked up, and it just almost completely pushes Eric Stark into that smart mark at turn one.
Yeah, it would be nice if we could just see that aerial shot again, just see what happens. He comes over. And I would rather say that Eric took that too tight, if I'm honest.
Absolutely smacks into it as well, doesn't he? That is some. Here we go again. So on the left is Team Drogba, Team Brazil in the middle with Marit Stromoy. Just look at the wake.
Team Brazil gave him perfect room there. That was beautiful by Marit. She gave him lots of space. I'm sorry to say, but Eric just took it too tight, too angry. Yeah.
Do you reckon he was looking actually more at Team Brazil on his outside to make sure that he was getting enough room, and in doing so, just misjudged things?
I think you're right, Gavin. He really did just misjudge that, and you could see the look on his face. It was like, I've just hit the mark, and fury for him. But well, what a gem for Team Westbrook, and it'll be interesting to know why were they late to the start. I wonder what happened there.
So as Eric Stark comes back down, we're being told we'll have a 5-lap race as expected. They just reduce it by a solitary lap. That's your weekend gone, and actually that's after Team Miami had recovered to be in the inside lane for this place race. Things hadn't gone right throughout the weekend. They were through in 9th actually at the bottom, but then came through to be in pole for this one, but unfortunately not to be. And there's going to be some work to be done to fix that, but there's no more racing for Team Miami this weekend.
Yeah, I wonder if something came up on his smart screen to say that, you cannot carry on, there's too much damage, because he was certainly under his own power, so I'm not sure why he couldn't carry on, as we saw Tima Alula did earlier. She carried on, didn't she? But no, look at that. Pure frustration. The smart mark's being replaced, so that's all good. And we've also heard that Team Westbrook were late to the start because they had a problem with their throttle.
All right, okay. And so running repairs, and actually had to crack over to the start, Lucas Ordóñez, and now they get to go again. And suddenly you have to cool yourself, don't you? Because there'll have been a lot of adrenaline coursing through his veins, and now they can see the dash. That's a great shot of the dashboard there, Shelley.
Yeah, so you can see all the information they've got there. They have got, let me try and talk you through this. They've got their RPMs, they've got their trim level. Yeah, so they've got a lot of information there on the front
on
of
the right-hand side, that's
and here, yeah, see, this is telling them their laps and whether they've done their short lap, long lap, race position, etc. So there's a lot of information going on in there.
All the while, you're adjusting, you're trying to drive this all-electric powerboat, trying to fly it above the water, keeping your trim in check, trying to keep the hull out the water. Oh, by the way, there's also 4 other race birds either side. There's wash coming over the front of your cockpit as well,
and you've got mission control in your ear too.
Yeah,
just to add to that.
It is a busy place to be inside a race bird cockpit. So we are being told a couple of minutes before we get going again, but so we've already had an eventful start to our finals here, and it will mean that Lucas Ordóñez and Westbrook Racing will get the inside line on the rundown. I wonder if Michael Wilkinson is going to be able to sort it out. Here we go, we're being told 33 seconds to race start, 30 to go. They can see bottom left of your screens, and we are go again, Shelley. Right, strap yourselves in, because if the first part of this place race is anything to go by, turn 1 is going to be exciting. The clock ticks down. Remember, you cannot cross the beam, the start line, until that clock has ticked to 0. See the yellow flag? That will become green very soon indeed, and we are go in this place race. 5 laps. Still will have to take a long and short lap, but they'll be able to do it on their opening lap. Green flag, and again Michael Wilkinson on the outside, getting it superbly. He's got so much experience with foils. However, now porpoising a little bit down towards turn 1, and that could have cost him. He cuts across now in front of all of them, and he takes the lead of this race. Lucas Ordóñez on the inside, and look at Marit Stromoy put out wide. He's gone for the short lap. Lucas Ordóñez has gone for the short lap as well, as Marit goes off on her own normal lap.
That was close, foil to full racing there. I thought we were going to have more contact between Team Brazil and Westbrook there, but they just held it off. And again, Drogba came across and decided to shut the door on both of them. That was even tighter than before.
So it's Team Drogba with Michael Wilkinson, the Kiwi, in the cockpit ahead of Lucas Ordóñez, the Spaniard in Will Smith's boat. But it's Didier Drogba's yellow and green liveried boat who are leading this one as they come out of the final corner after lap 1. They've completed their short laps. Both of these race birds now will have to do 1 long lap. Meanwhile, Marit Stromoy did a regular normal lap, which is usually about 10 seconds slower, and again the long lap another 10 seconds slower still. We're right on board here now with Michael Wilkinson. As I say, so much experience on foils, but that's in sailing boats. It's a slightly different proposition here, Shelley.
Yeah, he's got a lot more going on, and in powerboat racing it happens very quickly, as opposed to in the sailing boat you have a bit more time. Who have we got here? Team Westbrook doing their long lap,
yeah,
I believe.
It looks like it for Lucas Ordóñez. So the aim here, Shelley, for anyone who's new to E1 racing is you want clear water. However choppy, however bouncy it is out there, you want the cleanest water that you can get in front of you.
Yes, you do not want any whitewash in front of you, because that just exaggerates any conditions you're already in. So it is choppy. It's much more choppier than we've had in Doha or Saudi, but you certainly don't want to be behind anybody, and you don't want to be in that washing machine.
You can see even out on your own at the front, you still get a lot of water washing over the front of your cockpit. But Michael Wilkinson, that's nice. Just look at how it floats and flies above the water, the race bird. The problem is, once you're up at that moment, that's the most critical point. If you can keep that balance going, great, full credit to you. But it's also when the race bird is at its most precarious and unstable.
Yeah, you've got to keep it balanced, and if you put your boost on or off, it's great to have a boost, but it can unbalance you, and that's why we see them sometimes just dropping the hull into the water and scrubbing the speed off. It is a real art to drive the E1 Racebird.
We ride on board again with Team Drogba and Micah Wilkinson in the lead of this place race. If he finishes this race in the lead, he will finish 6th for the weekend and pick up 12 crucial points for the championship. Team Drogba currently sits in 6th place in the championship after a podium last time out. You can see on the right hand side, Shelley, on the screen before, the variable boost. Just explain how that variable boost works this year.
Well, basically you've got 20 seconds of variable boost, but every time you use some, it takes the same amount of time to actually build it back up. So if you lose 10 seconds of boost, it's going to take you 10 seconds to rebuild it. So it's a real art of when to use it. I don't think mission control can help you in this position. I think it's all down to the pilot.
Here is Westbrook Racing. That's Will Smith's team. He was on site actually in Doha, and they came through brilliantly actually to finish 4th, as they have done in both of the opening races of the championship. But as it stands, it looks like a 7th place finish, but there is still time to go in this race. A reminder, Lucas Ordóñez here has already done the long lap. He'll cross the line in 2nd and 16 seconds behind Team Drogba. It probably wouldn't be enough to do the leapfrog. You're looking for the undercut. That's what you want when the boat in front of you does their long lap, that you can basically have a quicker lap by going the short or normal lap and cut underneath. Marit Stromoy, meanwhile, you know, still has a short lap to take here, so she's there in 3rd place. I'm not sure it's going to be enough to leapfrog Lucas Ordóñez.
No, and I don't think that Drogba is actually playing a cool game there. They're going to do their long lap on the very, very last chance, so they're getting as much space between them and the boat behind them so they can take the long lap with ease and still keep the front.
A reminder, if you have just joined us, this is a shortened 5-lap place race. Eric Stark for Team Miami clattered into the smart mark at turn 1 on our first running. It's damaged the foil, so Team Miami Mark Anthony squad have retired from the race, so a shorter running here as we cross the line. We're on the final lap now, so in the absence of Team Miami, it's Didier Drogba's team who are leading with Olympian Micah Wilkinson in the cockpit, and now you will have to take the long lap loop in this final lap. The gap 16 seconds to Lucas Ordóñez behind, so if he gets it clean, still not a given here, but if he gets it clean, he should merge in the lead. There you can see it out towards Lochran Island in the distance here. A beautiful, beautiful island out the back there with a monastery and nature reserve. Absolutely gorgeous setting we've got here in Croatia. And Micah Wilkinson keeping his cool. Really, look how he's having to try and see over the bow at the front there as he bounces through the waves. And this one now, if he can just round it, yes, he should have enough of a margin here, Shelley, to take victory in this place race.
Yeah, beautiful, clean margin there, came straight in. No harm there done, and he's going to get across the line just easily.
You know, it's justice served, isn't it? After the first start, when he was so excellent off the line, he did it again, repeated it once more here in the place race. And having started on the outside, having started effectively at the back of the grid, Micah Wilkinson coming up with the goods here, rounds the final corner. He gave that smart mark some good room, didn't he, on his inside. He's on the boost to the line. Back of the net start for Micah Wilkinson, who takes victory in the place race for Didier Drogba's squad. Behind Will Smith's Westbrook Racing are going to take 2nd place ahead of Marit Stromoy for Team Brazil. So Brazil 8th today in the places, and of course Eric Stark will be 9th. But Marit Stromoy was about to come across the line for 3rd place. A great place race. That sets us up nicely for the rest of our finals here at the E1 Dubrovnik GB 2025. That's the 3 boats we had remaining in our place race. And hopefully now we're going to be able to head down directly into the cockpit with Micah Wilkinson. He's on the left there with Lucas Ordóñez for Westbrook on the right. Let's see if we can speak to the Kiwi. Congratulations, Mike. A brilliant job on both starts on that occasion, and having started on the outside, picking up maximum there, 12 points, 6th place. How pleased are you with your performance?
Well, it was a tough start to the weekend for us, so to finish on a high like that, to have to nail 2 starts in a row, yeah, I'm stoked, and I think this team's got a lot to give. We just need to find the pace, and can't wait for the next one.
Great job, Micah. And the Kiwi will now head back to the launch zone. Pleased, he looks pleased, and he should be, because, as he said there, having to do a second start and having to judge it to perfection when everyone else has already had one go at it, it's some job.
You were talking about the boost there, Gavin, and I would hazard to say that because of the conditions are so choppy and the boats are bouncing around so much in this very turbulent water from all the traffic around them, they're not using their boost as much. We're not seeing it come on and off as much, and I think it's because when the boost is on, the Racebird is even more unstable because you're literally pushing it to the limit, and it's making them fall off the plane a bit more. So different to Saudi and Doha, where it was so flat.
Yeah. There is more the wind, isn't it? Here it's more just the general swell, isn't it, of the Adriatic Sea. In this beautiful backdrop we've got as they head back to the launch zone here outside the medieval city walls of Dubrovnik.